you always need to think, are we doing it in the most efficient way? Are we doing it in the most effective way? Do we need to build it all ourselves?
Hungry for innovation? First to bring on-time cooking and deliver live customer tracking of driver delivery, we're delivering to you today a slice of Domino's recipe for success. Join us on this episode of Tomorrow's Tech. I'm Samantha Garbutt, joined today by Michael Gillespie, Group Chief Digital and Technology Officer for Domino's Pizza Enterprises. Being part of the organisation for the last 12 years, Michael has led the team through significant and sophisticated digital and online growth. Listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, Domino's Pizza is the country's largest pizza chain and also the world's largest Domino's franchisee, overseeing markets in Europe and Japan. Welcome on the show, Michael.
Thank you, Sam.
Let's have a look at Domino's appetite for innovation.
At Domino's, we're hungry. Hungry to make our service better and our customers' lives easier. That's why we've always been at the forefront of technology. We were first with a live pizza tracker, then GPS driver tracker, SMS ordering, and on-time cooking. Recently, we've taken it to the next level with drone and droid delivery, zero-click ordering, Notify Me for perfect pickups, and Pizza Chef with augmented reality. Every innovation gets us closer to our goal. A faster, fresher service and hotter, tastier food.
How has Domino's kept up with the pace of innovation, and how have you evolved your digital services for a compelling customer experience?
Well, at Domino's, we've always been proud of innovation. And that's not just innovation in the tech and digital space. It's around how we make the experience better for the customer so you get a hotter, fresher pizza faster to their door or to pick up at a store. Applying that with a digital or technology lens is then how do we take items available in the digital and technology world that will enhance the customer experience? And that pretty much from our start. And I've been lucky enough, remember back in 2006 in the early days of our digital experience where we had a handful of orders that would come through online, but we knew online was more than just a menu that sat on a website. For us, it was how do we now give greater levels of information to the customer? And that was a thing called Pizza Tracker. So we could actually show when a pizza was being made to when it was out for delivery, or even how do we put a pizza store in someone's pocket when we moved into the mobile space back in 2009 and were a first mover in that within our industry, all the way through to recent innovations around how do we even give insight into when the customer's pizza's leaving a store with a delivery driver on an e-bike or an e-scooter all the way to the house using GPS driver tracker. First in our industry, and something that we're really proud because it served a purpose. It allowed people to see where their order was.
Absolutely.
And then more recently, even using machine learning and image recognition to assess a pizza's quality in real time as it comes out of the oven, so that only pizzas that meet the level of quality that our franchisees in our stores and we want as a business leaving and getting to a customer leave. And the ones that don't make it, well, then the store can make a decision, hey, just give that as a freebie to the customer, or even if it's that terrible, unfortunately wasted, or give it to staff.
Fantastic to hear that continued focus on the customer and quality. Now, it was a hard time for everyone, but how did Domino's manage digital delivery through COVID-19?
Yeah, COVID-19 was testing for any company. And for Domino's, obviously, we have a rich experience and rich history with digital and technology over the last 15 years. And that allowed us to leverage some of our knowledge and also gave us a digital platform which we could then assess and go, how do we keep our customers and team members safe?
Yes. For
any business, the safety of your staff and team members and also customers should be paramount. And for us, with a pandemic that was going global potentially, we had to sit back and go, what do we need to do to enhance our experiences? And how do we also help educate the customer on these services so they knew that we were changing the way we'd deliver pizzas or allow pizzas for pickup at store? So we challenged ourselves on, we needed to find zero-touch pickup and delivery solutions for the customer and do that in development times that we'd never seen before. I remember sitting in a room and we were talking 6 weeks to get the first store live. And we have 9 markets and a multi-billion-dollar e-commerce system. And we had to say, we need to do this in 6 days. And that challenged our whole way of development and thinking. And we did it. And we were having these solutions first out in market and also doing them well before they were an expected requirement by governments. And that really showed, I think, hey, even if COVID-19 didn't go to, unfortunately, the disastrous ways it did, we would still have a fantastic service that we could provide if we're wrong in preparing for it. But we prepared for it, and that then led us to other things like car park delivery in more recent times, which rolled out of Melbourne and are testing in other markets.
You've always been challenging the status quo. Now, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who are seeking to innovate in the food retail sector?
Yeah, I think it probably goes to the same for any sector. And if you look at, and I talked about in this interview, customers are always top of mind. It's not just customers who are actually purchasing your product, it's the actual users of the end solution you're building. And I think it's always challenge yourself on where there's roadblocks or inefficiencies within your solutions and systems or processes. And then is there a technology out there that can provide a unblocking of that or a optimization of that? And that doesn't necessarily mean take the greatest and best off the shelf of the latest tech, because if I think back at our journey 15 years ago or 13, 14 years ago, very few technologies existed and it was much easier to keep across new things. These days, and then very much at that time, they're talking about even analytics was great in web, and it was, you might be paralysis by analysis of numbers. I think we're at a point where it's paralysis by analysis on check choice of technology choice. There's so much tech out there, so much innovation that you could spend your time trying to find a cool piece of tech and try to reverse fit it to your business. You should be trying to find a challenge and then trying to assess what technology or innovations out there to enhance your business. Or if you're a startup, how you can go one step ahead and provide something in the market that's well ahead of what your competition can offer or your customers could even expect is possible.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. And in light of Domino's success with digital innovation, what tips would you give to our audience who are driving digital projects themselves?
Well, I think question everything. And that doesn't mean go and put a hard thumb under all your team or yourself. It's more always sit back and never rest that you've achieved what you think is the pinnacle, because no one's ever achieved that. The iPhone keeps refining, services keep refining, solutions will always change and evolve. And a tech solution or a way of approaching technology or delivering technology to customers needs to be the same mindset. You always need to think, are we doing it in the most efficient way? Are we doing it in the most effective way? Do we need to build it all ourselves? There's a lot of tools and solutions and services, especially with the advent of cloud computing, that can be lifted off the shelf or applied that save developers or save you time to get to market in significant amounts. So really gain efficiencies from potentially solutions out there. Don't reinvent the wheel, but also challenge when you think you're actually got a great level of delivery. Look at your team and go, where can we improve it? Like, I didn't think it would be possible to get zero-touch delivery and pick-out at the rate we ever did. And Domino's has been known for fast and rapid solutions to market, but we found new ways to do it. And now we're taking those learnings and applying it to future development, which I think is fantastic to see. And what it does is create an engaged workforce who challenge themselves to want to know, hey, is there something we could do easier or better? And those efficiencies only mean they can get onto new, exciting projects faster.
Absolutely. It's about challenging each other, pushing the boundaries even when you're ahead. Thank you for your insights, Michael, and appreciate you joining us on the show.
Thank you, Sam.
Audience, if you enjoyed this episode and want to go behind the scenes with other champions of innovation, follow us weekly across Tomorrow's Tech LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And let us know in the comments below what digital change Domino's made that improved your customer experience with them. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Tomorrow's Tech.
Tomorrow's Tech, presented by 3 Dot Digital.